Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So we're a couple days removed from both the Mekhi Becton injury and the Connor McDermott injury, and to make a long story short, the Jets are extremely thin at the tackle position. Okay, it doesn't really seem like they have that go-to option on the roster right now. Robert Saleh actually addressed the media yesterday and said that the right tackle position is completely wide open as of right now. Okay, there's a positional battle taking place between Chuma Edoga and newcomer Max Mitchell, middle round pick from Louisiana. Okay, now, of course, something could happen in the free agency market. I mean, we've talked about so many different options on this channel. Eric Fisher, Dwayne Brown, I feel like he makes the most sense at this point in time. Darrell Williams from Buffalo, I think, is a solid option. Maybe a Nate Solder, Andre Dillard from Philadelphia. Tevin Jenkins' name has been thrown out there quite a bit over the last couple of days. It doesn't really seem like he has a long-term fit in Chicago. Just him and the new regime aren't clicking. I've read that there could be some back problems as well. It's difficult to try to get to the bottom of it. Nobody really knows what exactly is happening there with Tevin, so a little bit of a roll of the dice. But as we stand right now, it's Chuma Edoga and Max Mitchell, and Saleh, when talking about the position, actually said that Max Mitchell is a little further along than what everybody kind of expected, which is obviously a great sign. For fans, coaches, for Max himself, like, that's flat out awesome. And when we take a look at Max Mitchell, coming in at 6'6", 305, Max Mitchell has a ton of starts under his belt, 37 to be exact. 3-year starter at Louisiana. He's played on the left side of the offensive line, the right side. He's had success in both areas. He has a big-time motor, really quick feet. He allowed 13 pressures in 859 snaps last season and was awarded to the first team of the Sun Belt Conference. Okay, so pretty... I mean, that's nothing to scoff at. You can't just look at that and just say, okay, who cares? Like, those are, like, legit numbers. Okay, Max Mitchell was dominating last season for Louisiana and, quite frankly, was an anchor for that offensive line the past 3 years. Okay, now, I know PFF is kind of up in the air. Some people love them. Some people swear by them. Some people hate PFF. But I do think it's worth noting that PFF ranked Mitchell as the #1 tackle in all of college football last season. Okay, now with all of that said, right, all of the great traits about him, fits really well into the zone blocking scheme, pulls well. I think that's one of my favorite traits about him, along with the versatility. People have raved about his leadership. Max Mitchell seems like a great prospect to have on the team, but I think the red flag that continues to pop up over and over again, like back when he was in, throughout the pre-draft process here, is the overall strength. Him essentially learning a new system, coming to the NFL, huge competition jump. How's he going to handle incredibly strong defensive ends coming off the edge in year one? I think that's the big question mark here. I think ideally you would want Max on the bench for at least a season, right? All those practices, all that knowledge, all the film study, all the time in the weight room, everything like that going up. I really feel like the practices, and this also goes for Jeremy Ruckert and Michael Clemens as well. All of these young developmental prospects, I think these weekly practices are huge, right? Just for them to be getting reps against some quality competition. By the way, I also think joint practices will lump into that as well, but I'm talking about the entire season, right? Practices throughout the entire year, I feel like Max Mitchell will really benefit from going up against the Carl Lawsons of the world, the Michael Clemens of the world, Jermaine Johnson, Vinny Curry, Huff, John Franklin Myers. That's a tough thing to handle, to try to block JFM one-on-one. Okay, so I think that's the ideal situation, but unfortunately, the Jets aren't in that position. Okay, if the season were to start today, it looks like it would be Max Mitchell as the starting tackle. I think he brings some great traits to the table. I do believe that, but again, I do think the overall play strength could be somewhat of an issue, and I feel like Joe Douglas has got to get it done with one of these free agent tackles, at least for just a 1-year contract, a couple $1,000,000. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, maybe incentive based. Even if you have to overpay a little bit, I think it will go a long way to bring in a Dwayne Brown, to bring in one of these veteran tackles that, quite frankly, know their stuff. They can lock down one of the tackle positions and not be a complete liability out there. Okay, it reminds me a lot of the position that the Jets were in last year, where we had Fant and Becton, but then Joe Douglas said, you know what, we're going to cash in late in the summer to get that insurance policy, Morgan Moses, on the 1-year deal. Okay, I think that it made so much sense. Of course, it ended up working out really, really well for the Jets because Becton goes down. Now, all of a sudden, Fant can step in. Moses is already at right tackle. We're solid. We're good to go. Okay, so I think it's really, really important. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you want the Jets to go target one of these free agent guys? Do you want the Jets to maybe pull off a trade for Tevin Jenkins, for an Andre Dillard, something like that? Or do you want Joe Douglas and this coaching staff to roll the dice on the young players, Chuma Edoga or Max Mitchell? But I think, again, if the season were to end today, it's looking like it would be Max. So anyway, can't wait to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.